White's Ferry, outside of Poolsville, has been operating since 1828. It was originally called Conrad's Ferry, after its first owner, who pulled passengers and cargo back and forth between Virginia and Maryland. The ferry had many owners over the years, the most notable being Colonel Elijah V. White, a Confederate officer from Poolsville. He purchased the ferry in 1871 to start a grain business. It was then that it was renamed White's Ferry. It's now owned by Malcolm Brown, a Barnesville resident, whose father purchased it in 1946.
Around the turn of the century, it was owned by the Williams family. I guess they got it from Elijah V. White. And they ran it up until the 40s. In 1942, there was a devastating flood on the Potomac River, and they lost their boat. And what with the war, World War II and everything, they just did not get it back in service. Then after the war, my father and two fellows from Virginia, Lucas Phillips, Judge Phillips, and Ralph Altizer got together and bought the property from the Williams family and got an old Army barge and started the service back up. They did it as a community service, really, so the families could get back and forth. The people pretty much then were a lot related, and it wasn't so much as just for people to get across the river that happened to come this way. I mean, that's what it's developed into, but not back then. I got involved with the ferry in 1972. I agreed to come down here and manage it for a year, and I've been here ever since, but not a lot of traffic back then either, not like today.
Today, the ferry can hold up to 24 cars and only stops operating when it's icy or flooding. This is far different from Mr. Conrad's vessel. There is only one thing, however, that is the same. It is still a captive ferry.
We're on a cable. It's guided by a cable, so it's what's known as a captive ferry. Basically, what's changed is the size of the boats. We have bigger boats, a bigger ferry boat now, and the propulsion system, which used to be a gear-driven system, is now hydraulic. We have a prop in each end of the tug.
The boat is named after General Jubal Early, the Confederate general who came the closest to reaching Washington during the Civil War.
In 1953, when they built the first steel boat, which is up on by the entrance here, we still have it, my father and Ralph Altizer and Lucas Phillips debated on a name for it, and they ended up picking Jubal Early because after the Civil War, he never swore allegiance to the United States, and he fled to Mexico for a period of time, and he was kind of like a rebel, and I guess he appealed to them, so they named the boat Jubal Early. In '88, when I built the new ferry, we kept that name because Jubal Early is General Jubal Early is kind of a part of White's Ferry now.
Running the ferry isn't easy. Flooding is a major challenge, and in recent years, Mother Nature hasn't been very kind. But still, Malcolm Brown remains, keeping this privately funded form of transportation alive.
You get involved in it, becomes part of you.